As a child, I found everything so wondrous, so intriguing. The simple act of walking in the woods was magical. The sights, the sounds, the aroma of earth below my feet. Every experience was precious. Holding a camera and looking through the viewfinder was a powerful, memorable experience to have as a child, just to be able to press a button and freeze a moment in time. In 2022, walking through the woods, a field, or anywhere still holds that certain magic for me. Even more so now. Welcome back, everyone. Today I am at Deepwater Point out in Acme, right outside of Traverse City. Technically it's Williamsburg, but who's counting? Today I have the Panasonic Lumix FZ-10 with me, the follow-up to the popular, and in my opinion, one of the best Panasonic Lumix cameras, the FZ-1. I'm starting up the Panasonic now. It's a bit slow to get started, but that's okay. I'm in no hurry. When it comes to landscape photography, it's all about taking your time, in my humble opinion. So the FZ-10 is the follow-up to the FZ-1 and the FZ-2 from the Lumix line of bridge cameras from Panasonic. Of note on the FZ-10 is the larger body size, as I had mentioned. The screen gets an upgraded larger screen, though not large, but it does the job. The electronic viewfinder next to my thumb is larger and brighter and has a higher refresh rate, which is nice. The one in the FZ-1 was kind of lame, but for 2002, I bet that was pretty awesome. The FZ-10 also gets a shoe mount for external flash units. Looks like it's a non-dedicated type with a single little mount there. And that's cool. I never use them on this, so no worries to me. And on the mode dial, you now have aperture control, shutter control, and full manual control on the command dial, as opposed to on the FZ-1 where you had no control over that, more or less. FZ-2 you got a little bit, but not this much. So with the FZ-10, definitely an upgrade and more control for the user. Shutter stays in the same spot. The grip is a little bit larger and more ergonomic, a little bit more rubber to grip, which is great. And on the side of the camera, as always, it tells you what you get, so I won't even say that. And new to this model too is the manual focus ring on the side of the camera, my gloved hand, which I'll get into a little bit later. Really nice feature to have on this camera. And of course it comes with the adapter tube, which is kind of on there, so I won't bother with that. Pretty nice overall balanced design. In my opinion, one of the coolest looking of the FZ design of the early years. I am so lucky that I live in northern Michigan. There's so many beautiful areas around here. Just look at this place. You have East Bay, you have the waves, you have the beautiful forest, the beach line, and you get these spectacular views of the clouds and just the horizon. And I love the light with the clouds. It's a soft tone. It's, I wouldn't say warm because obviously it's like 10 degrees out, but it's just a soft overall warm mood, and that's what I love. Today my goal is to provide 3 or so different shots with the camera to give you an idea of what the camera does, the menus, how it's used, its image stabilization, and just an overall feel for the camera. Alright, for my first shot, I am going to use the camera handheld to kind of showcase its image stabilization, which Panasonic at that point called its Mega OIS, or optical image stabilization. There's some swans on the horizon. It's probably hard to see with this camera, or in this area. I'm gonna stabilize myself the best I can and capture a few shots of the swans. Now to do this, I'm making sure that I have a higher ISO sensitivity. I think I have it 100 or 200. And f2.8 to keep the aperture blades open. And just to mention that, as with the FZ-1 and 2, the Lumix FZ-10 features a constant f2.8 aperture blade throughout the 12x zoom range, which is just great for wildlife photography when you have less than ideal light. It's time to get the old right glove on. It's getting a little bit cold out here. Let's get this rascal on. All right, here we go. Swans have moved off a little bit to the right, but that's all right. Alright, for my next image, I am going to attach a Panasonic branded neutral density filter to the front of my lens, and I'm going to attach the camera to a small tripod and get a slightly longer exposure. Get on there, you scamp. Alright, get that nice and snuggy wuggies. Take off the lens cap. Pop that on my professional setup on sand apparently. This is a Panasonic Lumix branded neutral density filter, an ND8 to be more precise. Let's see if we can get that on that screen. I haven't used it that often, but I found it works pretty well. So I'm going to use this with the camera with a slightly longer exposure to get a picture of the waves crashing against the icy formations on East Bay. So, to be honest, I'm not really stoked on that last image. I'll put it up just to have it there, but yeah, sometimes when it gets so cold like this, you have a vision, and it doesn't really work out sometimes. My hands are frozen. Alright, so the Panasonic FZ-10 features a manual focus ring on the lens barrel to kind of mimic a SLR or a digital SLR kind of feel. So I'm going to do my best here to show how this works on the camera. Gotta turn it back on. So right here, you can see the focus option, autofocus on top, or AF, and MF for manual focus. Now we're in manual focus, I think. Alright. Okay, so I have the camera in manual focus mode. In the center of the screen of the LCD screen, you can see that little rectangle. It's kind of like a zoomed in frame, and you move the ring on the lens barrel to the point where you get a nice crisp look. And my battery's about to die, my hand is frozen again. This has not really turned out how I'd hoped, but I'll do my best. And then you can take your shot, and it should come out just as clear as with autofocus, but you get more control this way. Now I'm going to get a shot using the manual focus feature of these white cedar needles, if you can see that. I will put the picture up in a moment. I am going to turn off the camera though because my hand is frozen. it continued to get colder over by the shoreline. My hands, like I said, are frozen. I came further into an area where there's some other pine trees. One of my favorite spots of the trail and this natural area in general. See if I can get this bag off, it's a little awkward. So I like to get things put away. I wanted to take some time and just reflect on, what landscape photography is and who enjoys landscape photography. Who else out there around the world enjoys landscape photography like I do. And I have done some research on YouTube briefly, and I found a group of photographers I'd love to mention real quick, and let's see if I can find it in my little journal. Always carry a journal with you, because if you're like me, you forget everything you're going to say on a camera, or just in general. Alright, almost there. Where is it? Here we go. So on YouTube I found this group of women called the Black Female Landscape and Nature Photographers. I'll put a link up in the video at some point here. It should be up on the screen. It'll be the first time I put a link up, so please bear with me. But I watched their video on YouTube, which went up about 3 months ago, and I immediately was drawn to their passion for photography and their unique perspective. Please check them out. I think it's totally worth a watch, and I can't wait to see more from this group of women. They have some really cool ideas, and I think the more people enjoying landscape photography, the better. As I was packing up, I began to think about the quality and reliability and craftsmanship that went into these Panasonic Lumix bridge cameras from the early years. Compared to other models and manufacturers' cameras that I use on occasion, I most often rely and grab the Panasonics. They just work. So to end the video today, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. As always, please subscribe, please like my channel, and please share it with your friends and family. And to end today, I'm going to put up an image gallery of additional images that I captured while out at Deepwater Point Natural Area. Thanks so much, and until next time, get outside and get some fresh air.